March of 2012 is when I was diagnosed. Hey, there's two ways of hitting this. You can, fold your hand up and say, okay, or you can say, look, we're fighting it every day. And that's what we do. Wendy's been through a lot with me, so she's got a little bit of tough skin. Of course, you know what a halo is when you break your neck.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I got one of those in my wedding picture. That's how Wendy and I got married. I was in a halo. So
yeah, that's why he has the scars on his forehead.
She's been through the ringer with me. I'll put it to you that way.
Yeah, probably if we were to shave his head, it would be quite scary looking with all the scars that he has.
We were actually going over by the med center, and there was an accident. And of course, the lights and everything, when I got over to actually go to work, I just wasn't feeling good, like nauseated from, I thought maybe the lights. I went to the restroom, splashed some water on my face, try to just shake it. And I got back and I told Jeff, I said, Jeff, I'm not feeling good. I said, I'm going to go out in the van and lay down for 15, 20 minutes. If I'm not back, you come and get me and I'll get back to work. So I proceeded to walk out to the van. Well, he proceeded to follow me. And when I got in the van, he went to the foreman, which I didn't know this at the time. He went to the foreman and he said, look, I don't know what's the matter with Yance. He's either having a stroke or a heart attack. He said,
the owner of the company that Yancy worked for actually called me and said he thought I needed to come over, that Yancy was in the emergency room. I didn't expect to hear the news that we got later that day. You have a brain tumor.
My best friend, Randy Fry, he was with my wife when they did the biopsy.
When he first came back with the diagnosis and he didn't know what it was, and neither did I, being the dumbasses that we were, we Googled it. And I should have scanned it before I read it out loud. Because the diagnosis was just, it was horrible. It was horrible.
As you go through the med center in your different stages of education, if you don't, which I know you will, but like down in the section where they give the radiation and the chemo, I would go down there only for the simple reason is I never blamed anybody for what I got. I just figured, you got it, you got it. But after seeing what those young kids go through, I was 53 when I got cancer. And I can honestly say I had a pretty good life to 53 and beyond. And I looked at these young kids and I said, man, some of these won't see 15 or 20 years old. Nobody complains when you see those kids, and that was the big, I gotta say, I was pretty positive up to that point, but when I seen that, I just became overpowered, and I have no doubt, no complaints. So that was the turning point. And my wife asked Dr. Sheehan how big the tumor was. And he explained it like, well, it was about the size of a quarter and about 3/8 of an inch thick. And Wendy said, well, how much did you remove? And he said, probably a dime size. So Randy says to Dr. Sheehan, so you're telling me my best buddy only has 15 cents left? You got to keep positive, but I think you got to have your humor. How many people can you say weapon discharged through their foot and didn't hit a bone. Not too many. So I can at least say that, with all the bones.
Oh
in
yeah,
the
he
foot.
shot himself in the foot.
But Wendy, the gun discharged. It wasn't in my hand. They always say that.
But Yance rolls with stuff pretty good. He's always rolled with everything real well. One of the things I found admirable about him was he not once has he ever said, "Why is this shit happening to me?" Not once. It was just always, okay, it's another job. I got to do what I got to do to get this job done. That's how he's always been. He's always been about getting the job done, work-wise. His work ethic, it was unreal.
I said, Doc, I think I'm going to call it quits with work. I said, the accidents, and I said, my vision. So we did a test, and he's like, yeah, he said, you have a blind spot there. And I'm like, well, that's part of it, and the short-term memory and everything else. And I said, I don't want to hurt myself or anybody else, because sometimes we climb steel. Sometimes you're setting a 5 to 20-ton piece of equipment, and you make the wrong judgment, and somebody loses fingers, a hand, an arm, a life. So, and he said, I had to wait for you to make the decision.
That's what made him happy. Work made him happy.
And there's a lot more important things in life than getting up and going to work.
I had originally had made plans to retire a lot earlier, but now since I carry the health insurance and
Things got
I have to work a few more years, that's okay.
screwed up. So, but I keep a clean house.
Yes, you do.
Wendy's not one to talk about
Final
death.
arrangements.
Right.
I tried to stay strong for him.
You did.
Because he worried more about how I was going to manage after he was gone. And I just couldn't believe that he would worry about me when he was fighting for his life.
Some of the projects that he wants to do, he wants to make sure that everybody in that his family is going to be okay. When he passes. So, and that could be 30 years from now, it could be next week. But he wants to make sure that after they throw the dirt on him, that everybody is okay.
I've heard a couple cancer patients say, yep, since I got the cancer, I'm a better person. And for a long time, I'm thinking, what are you ever talking about? Until I got it, met those kids. Now I can say I am a better person from it. I want people to know that there is another side. It isn't all dark and gloom, and no matter if you get cancer or not, you're going to die in the end. And I just think it's important that you keep your head above and you keep a good attitude. And I try to make somebody smile every day, whether it's holding a door open for the elderly to go into Kmart or to help some young kid. That's just who I am. That's about all I can say.